What's going on, my peoples? I go by the name of the Sorcerer. I'm now going to be doing a reading. And the reading I have for today is the first 3 months of the year. So let's see what's happening in the first 3 months of the year, of the new year. So the first 3 months of 2024, just to be clear. Hope everybody's okay. If it resonates, I hope it helps. If not, send it back to the universe. Energy is fluid. We keep on shining and we stay rising. Right, one more. And go from there. Okay. Got 2 on the deck. Okay. Interesting. 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 Let's see for your clarification. Nice. There's definitely a divine purpose. It's like you've woken up. Right? Lovely. It's like, okay, let's give you a quick overview. What I like about this reading as it is that there's this sort of like divine purpose that you've understood of doing all of your. It's quite organized in some respect, of you filtering through and basically doing like your MOT, so to speak, or organizing in terms of your bills. I think it's putting your priorities all up in order in the first 3 months of the new year, 2024. And you got the World card, you know, and you've got the World card and you've got the 10 of Wands, right? As you can see. And my understanding is what I will advise you doing is that you've come to the first part of the year of January and you're saying to yourself, okay, it's time for me to actually look of what I need to be doing in order for me to have an easier couple of like the rest of the months of the year that's going to make things a lot more easier for me. So you're looking at it from a standpoint of a picture of, if I work through the difficulties now, it's going to be easier throughout the rest of the coming coming months that are there, and that's fine. The advice I would say is I commend you on that, but just don't take more than you feel like you can take on, because at the end of the day, the way I see it is that you know, I feel like if you're gonna take on these tasks and you've got these as your objectives, do it in bite sizes rather than taking it all on. Like if you have, let's say you have 10, you can really do like 2 in blotches of 2, in collections of two, series of two, excuse me. And it's a case of you understanding that, what's it called? You know, it doesn't necessarily mean that you take it all at once. But if you're going to do it, I commend you. But there has to be a sense of like strategy towards that, you know. And I think it's about you understanding. You've got the Empress card over here anyway. You've got the Empress card over here. And it's a case of you understanding that during this time, you know, it's using your intuition. You know, if you feel like you need to take a little bit of a break during this time, like, for example, you've gone through, what's it called? The, you know, 3 and 4. Say you've got 10 things to do in the first 3 months and you're thinking, I've already done 3 and 4. Let me just take a day where I could just need to have a rest. My body, my intuition is telling me I just need to have a bit of self-care day. Didn't do it. Didn't really do it. But I commend you and actually think to myself that it's beautiful because you're showing signs of like, it's like you've woken up, you know, you're saying on the first day of the year, I'm just going to basically be, I'm going to be doing me. And I'm going to make sure that this difficult part right now is going to create an easier time for me going forwards, you know. And this is for your organizing. This is for you understanding that. All right. Wow. You got in the present moment, you got the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, and you've got the Star for clarification. And the advice I'm getting from this, because you got the Queen of Pentacles in the present moment, and you've got the Star, and I think there's that element of you wanting to do it all at once, but there has to have a sense of like rational thought with the situation, you know, because if you carry all of the objectives or all of the tasks you need to do during that time, it could be your bills, that could be you need to be carrying, I don't know, you've got so much storage, or you're going to be moving and painting and putting your furniture, or this, that, and the third. You know, give yourself a bit of like strategy with this, as it says, because your train of thought is to do it. The start is about seeing the objective and you just doing it, and just you going for it. Just in the respects of your, like, in respects, I'll just say, you know, you've got your tunnel vision, but there has to be a strategy. The star's about having that strategy, you know. And okay, for your challenges, you've got the 5 of Swords in your challenge, and you've got the 6 of, let me see if I can get that, 6 of Pentacles. There you go. For your advice. And your challenge is understanding that I think you also need to have a sort of review of how many things you got to be doing at the same time. I don't think you necessarily need to do a lot of, like, because I'm using 10 as your base number anyway, because you've got the 10 of Wands from your previous time. Excuse me. But what actually you realize is that you just have to really filter through and prioritize the ones that are really important for you, because it's about you understanding that there has to be, you having to look at the pros and cons, as you can see with the 6 of Pentacles. The man over there is holding a scale, and it's about you understanding, you know, what are the pros and cons for you to hold onto, or for you to prioritize, or for you not to actually do any of some of the things that you need to be doing. And that could be just things that are not really seen as important. Like, you just put in yourself added stress in that situation. So I'm just saying to you is that it is essential that you really, really analyze the situation, and just see that, you know, maybe you're giving yourself too much tasks to do during this process and during this time. So my advice to you is, as I said, just, if it's not important, feel free to unload, and remove, or even just say, you know what, just prioritize the ones that are really, really important. All right. What's rocking the soul? And you've got the Nine of Pentacles. And the Nine of Pentacles followed by the Eight of Pentacles. Excuse me, it's just early morning today. Still wide awake. I'm still a little bit sleepy, but I love tarot. But it's you understanding that you're going to eliminate some of the tasks anyway, but there's a sense of satisfaction within, and a sense of like accomplishment through your accomplishment, that you've worked through this. And I see yourself in the first 3 months, you just like, I just see a lot of proactive things, a lot of work, a lot of industry. The word I'm getting is industry, industrial. Is that there's a sense of you like mechanics, you being able to just get the ball rolling, the gears rolling. And I think for me, it's sort of like you're setting yourself up for the rest of the year to be really fruitful for you. And I like that, because there's a sense of responsibility. There's a sense of like, there's so many people there that use January as a way of like a sort of like cushion or a write-off, because they've just been out the whole entire 2 weeks partying and drinking. But you're actually using this time to really, really harp on and figuring out your goals and your dreams, and you're really going to, take it with the scruff of your neck, and you're just going to be like, yes, I'm doing it. I think in the past, it's because you've had your, this is funny, but you've had your days of like light and dark when it comes to strength. You got the strength card over here. Let me see. And you've got the Five of Pentacles. And for me, my intuition is telling me is that you've had time of partying, and you've had time of basically being the person that's like the sort of like, you're the person that's looking after your mates after a night out. But I think you're tired of it. I think you're just seeing your past, and even as your recent past, as like, not, I'm actually feeling like I'm growing. I'm growing in the situation. I do not want to continuously drink and feel the after effects of that hangover. And that's absolutely fine. And the one thing I will say to you is this, and this is me being completely real with you, and is that you just don't want to be around people who are intoxicated. I think it's not even a case of you saying to yourself, I don't want to drink no more. I just don't want to be around drunk people. I'm tired. I might not be wanting to drink anymore, but I don't want to hear somebody being like, hey, do you see what I'm trying to say? There's that element of you just being tired. It's like, when you're the sober person in the room and all you're trying to do is communicate with people who are completely intoxicated, and just like, no, I can't communicate with you, and I feel like there's this level of maturity, which is nice. What's crowning you is that level of foresight that you're seeing. I think that's what definitely crowning you. You've got this foresight, which is the Three of Wands. Let me see if I can focus. There you go. And the advice is the Queen of Cups. Let me see if this focus again. And the foresight comes through, your emotional maturity, and you being able to actually see things from a bird's eye view, and understanding that what you previously had an experience isn't what you're feeling right now. And there's that sense of you it's like you're going to be feeling that, when you're taking these sort of actions, this might be your goals, your plans, a business venture. This could be you just being organized in terms of being a responsible adult. This is about you just basically taking more of a control in your life from a rational point of view. There's this element of like poise and maturity, and you being able to, and a sense of wisdom as well, you're seeing this because this is through your growth. And understand that, you know, you've done this all, or like, this was all down to you. So kudos to you. Like, big up to you for basically making them decisions at the end of the day. And what I love about this is that you've got the understanding from a masculine and feminine point of view anyway. And I think if you are in a relationship, you know, if you are in this relationship, which is, I think this is beautiful anyway, you know, if you're in a relationship, you know, King and Queen and the Three of Wands, you've got the foresight to understand that. Let's, in the perspective of this, say if you was in a relationship, you understand that you as divine feminine, or you as the divine masculine, or you as divine feminine and divine masculine, it's that you have shared goals. You have the understanding that the times that you had prior weren't the same shared visions that you have now. But if we're looking at it from if you're single, from a even if you're masculine or feminine, it's a case of you understanding that you've got this train of foresight, and you're going to use this foresight for your purpose. And that's what's beautiful about it. It's about you having your purpose, about you understanding that you're just in the motions of yes, you're in the motions of your own transformation, and now it's a time for you to sit in your power and enjoy your own changes. And that's because it was you that made those changes and no one else. So big ups to you. All right, I'd say during the the rest of the months, so you got, I think there's a big transformation during January time. I know there's a big transformation during January time, and I think you're going towards the elements of, like, let's say February as it is. There's a view, understanding that you've made yourself a new cup. You're pouring your old cup somewhere else in order for you to pour something new. And that's basically your own new sense of purpose. It's the you know, if you keep water in, you know, not sealed, it becomes like stale water, and it just becomes really it's undesirable to drink, you know. And it's a case of you doing that because this is an old energy that you're pouring out, and you've basically feel like there's going to be a new chapter, you know. I feel this is what my intuition is telling me going forwards, because it's about you wanting a higher quality of life, and you're working towards your higher quality of life with the Knight of Wands, with being creative, or just being in your most optimized version of yourself, because it's about fire, it's about energy, it's about creativity, but it's also about passion. And I'm telling you, it's that you're not losing your cup, you're only pouring your old still water in order to refill your new sense of self, you know, in the next coming months. And I think, you know, what I know is that, yeah, this is all because you're working towards your victory, which is the Six of Wands. You know, you are working, or you are going through your purpose. You're doing your bit to work on your purpose, to go through your purpose in order to basically get your rewards at a later time. In your self position, what it reminds you is, don't check yourself over your newfound form of purpose, and just give yourself time, because what you don't want to do is burn yourself out on both sides of both ends. So, you know, give yourself some time, as I said, with the Empress energy of using your intuition when to take breaks, and actually realizing that you don't necessarily need to take all of 10, because we've got the 10 of Wands at the present situation, at the theme. It's actually you to understand of using your own discernment for your intuition, and knowing that prioritize on what's important for you, you know, working through these things, and stick to those principles with the Page of Wands. The people around you, I'd say, they're seeing that they're seeing that you're working through your finances, you know, and from what I'm seeing with the Hangman in reverse, is that case of like, they see that you're working through your finances. They know you've got you're going through your organizing. I see them be a little bit I'd say thinking that you're a bit wishy-washy, and that it's just all of a sudden, you know, a change. But at the end of the day, this is about you, and this is about your understanding of your responsibilities. And perhaps when I see things, when people are on their purpose, I see them as being a great example of, you know, like a beacon of their friendship circle, you know. And I don't think you should change that. If anything, it just gives you a shining example of how to do things, and you should just continue doing so. But just don't be too obsessed with a certain number or objective, and learn to have a breaks during that time. Because what's going to change you during this, what's going to change, you know, within this space of time, is that, as you can see, you got the Tower card, and people seeing this transformation around you. And with this transformation, it's that quick energy, fast shifts. But I think they are more shocked about your change. But I will say this: the people in your life who are shocked and see you as a person, or, you know, saying that they don't see your change as positive, are not your friends. They're not going to be like, you know, they don't really, you know, they're not the ones paying your bills. But at the end of the day, they'll have to understand that you've got to do what you got to do. And the people there who admire and feel inspired, those are the people you want to keep, because they're going to use that as their form of inspiration. They're going to be there for you. And also they're going to push themselves as well. You know, a high tide raises all ships. And if you set the bar high and they meet you there, you're pushing yourselves right up to the top. It's that lovely expectations of pushing each other. Yeah, you're fine with your hopes and fears. This is a case of you filtering through the BS. Yeah, let's see if we can focus that. With the Seven of Cups in reverse, followed by the Seven of Swords in as your clarification, as a advice card. And it's like learning to filter through during this time of February. I think it's you understanding that once you're going through this sort of time, or January, of industry, purpose, you know, making discernments, you know, February time's about people looking through, you know, through you externally, and understanding that there is going to be an element of change and surprise. And I think I know you're going to surprise a lot of people, but I feel like it's a positive surprise, because it's a sense of inspiration that you'll give them. You know, it's a case of you also in February times making the choices, important choices of of understanding who you got to filter out, as much as using a discernment of making a better judgment on what you have to do, of your purpose. It's also eliminating the noise. I think you're going through a big transformation, as it is anyway, of a building. You're building something that's going to be fundamentally important for you during the rest of 2024. And I think that's beautiful. It's like if you're doing, let's say, you're doing 12 weeks or something, perhaps you're doing a boot camp, perhaps you're doing a course. There's this element of sacrifice that's going to come to fruition. I see that there is a big wish fulfillment in your outcome around March times. What you've worked for has come to fruition, and that's because you've manifested, as you got the High Priestess. You've manifested, You've used your intuition with picking and choosing which is important for you and which is not important for you. Using discernment through intuition with the Empress energy as well. And you know, at the end of the day, it's about you going through this blood, sweat and tears. But it's beautiful because the outcome of it is exactly what you wanted. It's everything that's not what you want as well, what's needed. Yeah, it's beautiful. You got the 10 of Pentacles, as you can see. And that comes through your blood, sweat and tears at the end of the day, you know. I prefer the 10 of Pentacles as opposed to the 10 of Cups, because 10 of Pentacles has everything and more. It trumps over the 10 of Cups, because the 10 of Cups is just about your personal fulfillment, where there's, for me, there's more legs and more earthiness about the 10 of Pentacles. There's blood, sweat and tears for your effort, and you see it. You'll see physical, like, receipts through your own hard work. You get to taste your rewards through your own hard work. And it's the essence of planting that seed and creating that tree of life that you so dearly wanted. And it's the desire of you completely wanting it, wishing it, manifesting it has come into life. And that's all down to you. That's all down to your sacrifice. And that's all down to your purpose and your discipline and your motivating yourself. And commend yourself for you. I commend you highly. I respect you and I love you for that. Love, peace and light. It's a sorcerer.
Sorcerer.